Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. As you know, it's your girl, Craving Cowboys. Before we get started, I just ask everybody to hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you listen to me on Twitter, give me a like, give me a retweet. I really appreciate everybody who's in the building here with me right now. I really appreciate you guys. This is not going to be, I'm going to let you guys know, it's not going to be even be a long show. Like I said, it's just going to be about 5-10 minutes, but I didn't feel like putting together a video right quick, so I just figured I'd go live right quick. What's up, Dak Owens Filthy? What's up? How you doing, fam? Jay Lombardi, my guy. I haven't seen you in a minute, fam. Very happy to see you, man. Like I said, not gonna be a long show. I just wanted to show you guys this interview I seen just yesterday. The interview that Kendricks did, Eric Kendricks, linebacker that we picked up in the offseason. An interview that he did the other day, which I think, he pretty much. Hey, what's up, Kelvin? How you doing, fam? Good to see you. Like I said, I watched this interview that he did, and I think he just, it was actually a question that he answered early in the offseason. When he first got signed, first came on. And the media asked him, why this defense, fits the Cowboys, why? Because they asked him a question about, Zimmer's defense and why, he thinks it'll be effective. And he actually, came forward and said that he thinks that the guys in his locker room is going to be perfect for this defense. He thinks that it suits. I think his words was, they don't even know it yet, but it fits them perfectly. And just after hearing that answer that he gave, it just, it just kind of planting the seed a little bit. And I was hoping he would kind of explain it more, but I understand in that kind of environment, you know, um, it's just quick questions, different journaling questions. So I understand that, at that moment he couldn't expound upon it, but he just sat down with KSAT 12 in Texas, and luckily. The woman doing the interview actually asked him to explain further what he meant by that question. So I just want to show you guys, and actually, just a couple other things from that interview as well. We actually talked about what it was like working with Dak, versus from before, being on Minnesota, playing the Cowboys, going up against Dak Prescott, vice now being in the same locker room, playing, directly across from him, in OTAs, mini OTAs, things like that. And as we know, last couple of weeks, or I should say, a couple weeks ago, during OTAs, during minicamp, they reported that Kendrick actually was able to cause an interception, against Dak, going against Dak in OTAs, which was actually picked off by Donovan Wilson. But just him, just being able to kind of create that, create that disturbance, right away, only being here for a couple of weeks, and being in this locker room with these guys, and that he's giving high praise to these guys, in the locker room, not just Dak, but the young guys, up behind him that he has to teach, pretty much teach his offense to. Zimmer has come in, he's, brought his guys with him, Greg Ellis, Coach Zagoni, I believe that's how you say it, or I'm sorry, Coach Jeff Scanina, that used to be on Washington the last few years, and now he's over here, with our defensive tackle room. And he's brought those guys over to to get those guys hands on our players, but also at the same time he's kind of delegating his defense to Kendricks at the same time, finally a veteran in this linebacker room, able to teach these young guys. And like I said, Kendricks is he's given a few interviews since he's been here, hasn't really said too much, but just the things he has said, like I mentioned, him coming, him saying that he thinks the guys in the room or on this defense are perfect for Zimmer's defense. He's also came forward and said, hey, I'm not above anybody. I may be a vet, but I'm still learning myself. I'm here to teach these young guys and show them what they may not know, or kind of get them accustomed to this defense. What's up, Keystone? How you doing? Tyrone Church in the building. Yeah, I'm with you, fam. Yeah, I'm definitely still focused on one tech as well. Like we definitely need a big body. We need that refrigerator, in the middle of the line to be able to stop this run. And yes, and like I said, I do have a show, coming up, a ways from now, about Zimmer and his impact on, hopefully his impact on the defense going into this year. But just seeing this interview, I just really wanted to really kind of jump on here and just kind of talk about it, because I think he just, we've heard other guys in the locker room say, not really talking too much about Zimmer's defense, but just saying how he can be a tough coach. He wants to come down on his players, teach them fundamentals, teach them the right way to play and things like that. Eastside here in the building, what's up? I can't forget about you, fam. And actually, and I do apologize to you, Eastside. You are real. I do apologize. A few weeks ago when me and Star did our show, not the last show we did, but show we did do before that. and you donated to both me and Star's channels, but I think it was usually during shows I don't really check my phone like that because I'm trying to concentrate on the screen and things like that. But so I didn't get a chance to shout you out, Eastside, for donating to my Cash App $5. Now I appreciate that. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to shout you out a few weeks ago, but I do want to come through and say I do appreciate that. And as always, I always appreciate you being in the building for my show, for other content creator shows, and although you may be a Texans fan, you do support Cowboys content creators. So I can't hate on that. And like I said, I appreciate your donation to my channel. I can't, like I said, I know we play all this year, so I'm not making nice with y'all, or not making nice with the Texans, not making too nice with you, Eastside Hero. But like I said, I do appreciate you donating to my Cash App. So like I said, I'm not gonna be on here too long. I'll go ahead and bring up this interview with Eric Kendricks, because the only thing, he doesn't only just talk about the Cowboys defense and how they can fit. Talk about this room and how they can fit Zimmer's defense, but he also talks about how how it is working with Dak, and kind of comparing a situation when he used to be with Kirk Cousins and things like that, and also talking about how he's going to prepare leading up to training camp, and things of when he was in college and things like that. But like I said, the main thing I want to focus on is just the statement he made, just kind of further elaborating on this defense and why he thinks it's going to fit this room. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up for you guys, and also just bring up some other players kind of like solidifying the statement, because like I said, we've heard them before. Like I'm going to bring up an interview from Juanyeh Thomas, another example from Sam Williams as well, just him kind of pretty much verifying how Zimmer's going to give other guys a chance. It's not just going to be about shout out to my girl Star, as she mentioned, used to mention on our show, that the wall of starters who kind of kept younger guys from getting the chance. And Sam Williams actually, states that he's excited about this defense because he feels like he's going to get a fair chance to step up, kind of take his opportunity, because we know, how bad he wanted to be on the field last year. So let me just bring up this interview right quick. Hey, Jalen Barr, you crazy, bro? He said he a fan. Hey, that song is still, that joint's still in my playlist. I ain't gonna lie to none of y'all right now, for real. And yeah, Cowboys by Nature, I think this is the first time he's seen in here. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for being in my chat. Appreciate you. He said Eastside is the biggest Cowboys fan. He's on every Cowboys podcast. That is facts. That is facts. And yeah, we can go on him for that. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely true. But maybe it's just because we're also the fellow Texas team. I don't know too many Texans content creators out there, so I guess, hey, when you're thirsty, you're looking for something to drink, right? You know what I'm saying? So, I guess I don't know if he can help it or not, but hey, shout out to him. Like I say, hey, he's creating conversation, interacting, with these creators. So I'm with it. So shout out to you, Eastside, for always showing love, to these content creators in our community. Let me bring up. I'm gonna share this page with you all. That's kind of loads up, you guys. Let me know if you guys can. I'm gonna play a little before the clip, so that way, just to make sure you guys can actually hear the clip. And let me know if you can hear it, and I'm gonna go ahead and let it play, and then just kind of explain my thoughts on it quickly.
Like you said, you rely on that kind of stuff. You ignore.
I'm gonna play as him talking about his previous time, facing Dak Prescott, and then what it's like being in the locker room now with Dak, and just what he's kind of learned just by
him
playing with him more.
Getting passes, against my. I feel like Dak is a good quarterback.
Okay, I think this is it.
Because the whole time with Kirk,
anything about your experiences with those three quarterbacks? Your experiences with those three quarterbacks?
Yeah, it's crazy because the whole time I was with Kirk, he got so much heat, right? Everybody always wanted me to say bad things about this guy, and at the end of the day, I was like, this is a good quarterback. I'll take him over a lot of people's favorite quarterbacks and things like that. And now that I'm with Dallas, I feel like Dak is kind of in the same boat, if not more so, because of the Dallas media attention how we talked about. But going through spring and really practicing against him, him completing passes, against my type of Mike.
Okay, thanks, Jalen Barr. Let me run it back just a little bit so you guys can hear. What I'm gonna do is refresh the page. That way, it just kind of hopefully connects just a little bit better. It'll be harder for you all.
I just right. Everybody.
Okay, there.
Someone needs bad things about this guy. And at the end of the day, I was like, this is a good quarterback. I'll take him over a lot of people's favorite quarterbacks and things like that. And now that I'm with Dallas, I feel like Dak is kind of in that same boat, if not more so, because of the Dallas media attention how we talked about. But going through spring and really practicing against him, him completing passes, against my type of my coverage. I've also competed against him many times. He's very consistent, and I remember actually the one time that we did beat Dallas in Dallas when I was with Minnesota. Dak, I remember after I left that game, I was like, yeah, I have so much respect for him, and I'll never like buy the hype of the media again, because he handled that game and as well as he runs business every day. So just like you said, you rely on that kind of stuff. You ignore the outside noise, and the chips will always fall.
All right, so you guys just heard Kendricks talking about how it is working with Dak Prescott, and just really the difference. Instead of, we always hear about the media Cowboys.
I just
Oh, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, we always hear about the media presence in Dallas, and even Kendricks mentioned it in a let me see. All right, sorry guys. Yeah, and even like I said, as you just heard, Kendricks said that he has a different view on Dak Prescott. He has much more respect for him, just how how he plays against him, like he said, with his defense and his coverage, and how he just feels like he has a lot more respect for Dak, and he just thinks that. Hey, what's up, Toxic Splendor Poppy in the building? What's up, fam? How you doing? And NFC as well. What's up, fam? How you doing? He says Kendricks has his own YouTube channel. No, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look that up. I had no idea he had his own channel. I'm definitely gonna have to look that up and see if if he's doing any kind of content, any kind of activity on his page, leading up to training camp. Because I would definitely be excited to see that. But yeah, like he just mentioned, like you said, a whole new respect for Dak Prescott, playing up against him, just seeing how well, like you said, he's consistent, completing passes, and we've kind of heard that, I would say over the last maybe a year or two, maybe even 3 years, where, and not saying the league was ever, anybody in the league was ever bashing Dak, but we know how the media handles Dak, but just seeing how a lot of players have come around saying, number one, how much respect they have for Dak and how they respect his game. I mean, we saw his last year alone, runner-up MVPs, so it's, seeing his numbers, led the league in touchdowns, I believe. He had the number one receiver, or he had, his number one receiver led the league in reception. So we see just the kind of effect that Dak has had on not just his teammates, but, players around the league, giving him props, saying just how well he plays. I mean, every now and then in the media, I think a day ago or maybe a couple of days ago, I forget who, but there was an analyst on ESPN saying that Dak should be, I think it was Acho's brother, I forget his first name, but saying that Dak should be the highest paid quarterback in the league. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree with that sentiment, but just seeing, of course, how Dak has played this last year, and really his whole career, he's never had a losing season. I'm saying he's just had, questionable personnel around him, year to year, maybe not a full complete roster, but once again, another free agent coming in. We see Brandon Cooks, speaking highly of Dak and the connection they're trying to build since last year. But we constantly hear vets coming in here and just giving full respect to Dak Prescott's game and just how well he's able to elevate not just their career, but how he continues to progress in his own career. We even see Randall Cobb come in here, y'all, in 2018, and see him kind of, I don't want to say a whole revamp to his entire career, but seeing him coming in and him being able to, to number one, make use of Randall Cobb, after losing a Cole Beasley, to the Buffalo Bills, coming in and bringing another slot receiver, and now even to present day, we have a Deuce Vaughn possibly, studying the form of Cole Beasley. Hopefully, being able to maybe utilize him in that way in our offense, not completely like Cole Beasley, of course, but we have guys like a Turpin, like I just said, Deuce Vaughn, but just showing how well that Dak is able to elevate all these guys. Even a Dennis Houston a couple years ago, Noah Brown a couple years ago. We kind of scoff and kind of laugh at some of these names that we've had at our disposal, but us having a great quarterback like Dak, able to elevate these players that he has had. I'm saying just kind of credits Dak, and like I said, here we go. Well, no pun intended, but here we go with another vet coming in and just explaining just how well Dak's game is continuously being consistent. What's up, JVB boy? Very happy to see you. How you doing, fam? What's up, y'all? Like I said, if you haven't yet, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, it's not gonna be too long of a show. And up here next, I'm gonna go ahead and get to the clip where Kendricks explains Zimmer's defense. It's actually the next question. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Let me go back to the let me go back to the other screen. Y'all crazy. Yeah, I'm good too, JVB boy. I'm just enjoying my day off. As you guys can see, I'm outside chilling. I'm saying, just trying to enjoy the weather, and before it get too hot out here. I'm saying, and really enjoying the holiday. I've been off this week, so I've really just been trying hard to enjoy my time off, and enjoy my vacation. All right, y'all. Here's the next part of that clip.
And I've heard you say before that this defense of Mike Zimmer changes, but suits the Cowboys as well. Why is that? Why do you think? I think the way that you said it was they don't know it yet, but this defense is going to be really good for the Cowboys. Stand more.
Yeah, it's very complicated in the fact that you have to know your assignment, and it relies at a high level. However, once everybody kind of knows what they're doing and everybody's on the same page, it allows you to play fast and free, and it almost becomes more simple.
For the Cowboys, can you expand more?
Sorry about that, y'all. I guess because I'm outside, my internet just a little bit choppy. Let me see if I can bring the clip back up. Let me know if you guys are still in the building with me, and I still see people in the chat. What's up, Lamar? How you doing, hon? Good to see you, man. Like I said, bear with me, you guys. My internet just got because I'm sitting outside. My connection is a little rough. So let me bring that. I'm gonna bring that clip back up for you guys. Just give me 1 sec.
How do you think? I think the way the Cowboys very well.
Okay, y'all. Let me know. JB said the Illuminati trying to get me. Hey, look, the Cowboy Illuminati, obviously. I'm trying to share good news. I hope they ain't trying to shut me down. All right, let me try this one more time for you guys. All right. All right, here we go, guys.
Why is that? Why do you think? And I've heard you say before that this defense of Mike Zimmer, I know he's made changes, but suits the Cowboys very well. Why is that? Why do you think? I think the way that you said it was they don't know it yet, but this defense is going to be really good for the Cowboys. Can you expand more on that?
Yeah, it's very complicated in the fact that you have to know your assignment, and it relies on everyone doing their job at a high level. However, once everybody kind of knows he's on the same page, it allows you to play fast and free, and it almost becomes more simple in that way. But you have to put the work in. You have to play as a team. It doesn't allow people to just kind of be, freelancers or individuals. I mean, you have to really buy into the team aspect of it, and then once you buy into the team aspect of it, you have the individual success that you desire. But that's the hard part is really believing in that.
It'll be really good for.
Yeah. So okay. So I'm gonna play that clip for you guys one more time because this is something that me and Star kind of talked about, on our show, Star Chasers, every Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 p.m. If you guys don't know yet. And actually, yeah, today's Wednesday, so catch us tonight. We'll definitely let you guys know if we go live this evening. But yeah, this is something we talked about, especially last year, considering just how, off the Cowboys scene with, especially being at the line, I'm saying, every now and then DQ throwing in random stunts, you know what I mean, playing, far off the ball, just things that we didn't, understand that, just like I said, things that DQ was doing. But let me play this clip one more time for you guys, and then, I'm gonna give my thoughts on it.
The Cowboys. Can you expand more on that? For the Cowboys. The way that you said it was they don't know it yet, but this defense is going to be really good for the Cowboys. Can you expand more on that?
Yeah, it's very complicated in the fact that you have to know your assignment, and it relies on everyone doing their job at a high level.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it right there, and just kind of break it down just little by little. Like as you guys just heard him say, he did come out and say that the defense, number one, is complicated. You know what I'm saying? And he, goes on to say that it's about everybody doing their job at a high level. And this is something that we've kind of heard since Zimmer's kind of gotten in the building, right? We hear guys talk about well, number one, he talks about the players being smart. Kendricks, shout out the young guys being in the room, being very smart, being very very just so far being very disciplined in the camp. Taking instruction well from Zimmer. Taking instruction well from him. And other guys in the room as well. Damone Clark, Maris Leafouts come out and said how much they've been learning. I think Demarion Overshawn has come out and said how Zimmer just a teacher in itself, not just being a coach to these players, but being a teacher to them, teaching them their position, teaching them what the defensive line is supposed to be doing, the defensive backs as well, just as a whole, teaching them his defense, but also letting them know what other positions are supposed to be doing. So like he just said, you're supposed to know your job at a high level so that the next man can do his job.
However, once everybody kind of knows what they're doing and everybody's on the same page, it allows you to play fast and free, and it almost becomes more simple in that way. But you have to put the work in. You have to play a team.
It goes any further, just to kind of hone in on those words he just used, playing fast and free.
You play fast and free, and it.
Like he just said, and this is something we seen last year with DQ's defense, them playing fast, physical, getting to the quarterback, going after sacks, going for the turnover. We've seen a lot of defensive linemen with pressures and hurries. But, of course, something that we were lacking, somewhat last year, were the sacks. But, this is something that was kind of, I would say kind of ingrained in DQ's defense last year as well, playing fast and physical. But, with Zimmer's particular defense is about, number one, having those fundamentals down in the first place. They say you can't learn something. Well, some people are visual learners. Some people are, hands-on learners. So I'm not, I'm sure it doesn't matter what kind of learner you are, but number one, these guys have to learn in the classroom. That's something they did, during the first, first couple of weeks rookie orientation, teaching these guys. Solari spoke on it, McCarthy spoke on it. Having these guys, Zimmer spoke on it as well. Having these guys take notes. I'm saying, teaching them, of course, the playbook, them getting into their playbooks early, and learning number one the mental side of it, right, the classroom part of it, right, and then of course, towards the end of the first week, the second week, mini camp OTAs, when they come together with the veterans, that's when it's about putting into effect, enforcing what you've learned in the classroom, going on the field, step by step, little by little, and even Zimmer was saying the first couple of weeks, he was throwing a lot at them, seeing what they could absorb, what they couldn't absorb, and he also spoke about different teaching techniques, players learning different ways, whether you can put your arm around a player, or whether you have to, come down, come down hard on them, or put them to the side, away from the group. Maybe they're, a better learner that way. But like I said, we just see, number one, I would say the main concept of Zimmer's defense is, number one, learning, the ability to learn, and also the ability to be able to teach. Like, we see a leader coming in, like a Zimmer coming in, and we see the guys that Zimmer, I'm not Zimmer, I'm sorry, like a Kendricks coming in, and Zimmer bringing his guys along to be able to teach, his way of, his way of coaching. We see that kind of on the offensive side as well with McCarthy, him, trying to delegate to his positional coaches, his assistant coaches, of how he wants his scheme to be run, and how he wants to talk to the players. And we even seen an example of that last year when McCarthy was out for a little bit, when he had to go out for I believe it was his appendix surgery or something like that. He had to go out for a surgery early in the season, and just that entire week, we heard the players, the coaches saying that, hey, it's, of course, we miss McCarthy. It's not the same when he's not here, but when he's not there, it should be, it should be business as usual. It should be the positional coaches and assistant coaches should be able to take, it should be like McCarthy is there, even though he's not, and it should be the same thing on the defensive side. Even though Zimmer isn't there, he's not in constant contact with the players. He's not always, and the head coach shouldn't be. That is what the assistant coaches, the positional coaches are for, so for them to get their hands on the players. So that's kind of what we're seeing. Early on, we saw that when the coaches came out with their interviews saying what they plan to do, and even with Zimmer coming in, it's his first year. It's his job to be able to teach this entire defense. It's really going to be up to these coaches, the assistant coaches, and for the players to be able to absorb, what they're being taught.
Almost comes more, once everybody kind of knows what they're doing and everybody's on the same page, it allows you to play fast and free, and it almost becomes more simple in that way. But you have to put the work in, and you have to play as a team. It doesn't allow for people to just kind of be, freelancers or individuals. You know what I mean? You have to really buy into the team aspect of it. And then once you buy into the team aspect of it, you have the individual success that you desire. But team, it doesn't allow, once everybody kind of knows what they're doing and everybody's on the same page, it allows you to play fast and free, and it almost becomes more simple in that way. But you have to put the work in. You have to play as a team. It doesn't allow for people to just kind of be, freelancers or individuals. You know what I mean? You have to really buy into the team aspect of it. And then once you buy into the team aspect of it, you have the individual success that you desire. But that's the hard part, is really believing in that.
And I think right there, just for me, you guys, I think that right there was really just the core nugget to Zimmer's defense. Like he said, there's no room. It pretty much leaves no room for any freelancers, no individual type, individual type work. You know what I'm saying? You guys trying to play on their own, like you guys see in my thumbnail, no more hero ball. You know what I mean? Like, it's something we've seen a lot. We've seen it last year in the Arizona game. Say we seen in the Buffalo game, the Miami game, where guys, just trying to kind of do their own thing. And, we just in my opinion, we just never seen a true cohesiveness, translating from the defensive line, to the linebackers, even though we did have a lack of linebackers. But like I said, we just never saw a true cohesiveness between those two. And then even, going as far back to the defensive backs room, the coverage, even if one room was on one page, linebackers were on a whole different page. I mean, so we just never saw a true cohesiveness. And I just think that the way this defense is coming in here, and like Kendricks just said, we've heard other players say, in player availability, like I mentioned, Juanyeh, Juanyeh said it. Actually, I'm bringing up a clip like just to give an example. And I actually played it. I believe I played it the other day on me and Star show. I'm just gonna play just a small clip from it, just to really just kind of. Oh, sorry about that. My bad, guys. But yeah, just to kind of bring the point home about that. Even just for this little bit of time that Zimmer has been there, these guys are already aware of just. I don't want to say anyone's chances are limited because there's definitely like I said, the theme of competition is definitely with the team this year. But so no one's chances are limited as far as having a chance to get a spot. But as far as it's not going to be you know, just to put it plainly, you're not. I don't think there's a lot of rope for a lot of these guys. You know, not saying these contracts have anything to do with it. I'm sure they do, but with these guys, I'm not saying they're coming in here with the mindset of, okay, I'm on a 1-year deal. I need to race through these guys to see who can get the job done. But I do think it will be considered that, like, hey, if I go with you and hey, I do put you out the Damone, what I'm saying, and you're still showing that you're still guessing and you're still not consistent with your with your gap integrity. You don't want I'm not going to want you. Zimmer going to want you on the field. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like Juanyeh talking, sitting here with Brock Hoffman, just explaining like, look, bro, like you're only going to have a limited opportunity to to show what you're capable of, and then let me see. I'm trying to bring up this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to bring this up at the same time. I'm trying to talk. My bad. Let me share this. But yeah, so and like Juanyeh's gonna explain here, like it's you're not gonna have long, what I'm saying, to 3, 4, 5 chances to show that you can play the position. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be about, okay, your first, second chance, okay, you can't get it done. Okay, let me bring in this other guy to see if he can get it done. Bring up the actual timestamp, so I'm not. Yeah, okay, I got you guys.
Good for our defense. So what are your thoughts on that?
And he's just gonna give his thoughts on Zimmer, and also just like I said, give his thoughts on give his impression of the defense. And yeah, I'm with you, JV. Yeah, I'm happy to have linebackers, yeah, heavier than 205 pounds either, and that's no slight to Marquise Bell. Shout out to him for stepping up and helping us, because we, as we all know, we desperately needed it, last season, and that's actually a good point. And that's something I'm going to bring up on a show later this week, JVB boy, because that's something that Scott McCurley has also said as well. Like, when he was asked questions during his interview, his coach interview, about giving his opinion and how he feels about the room and having these guys here, and he pretty much just came down with it and just said, hey, I'm just happy to have the bodies in the room. I'm happy to have competition, because they didn't have a lot of that last year, so I'm sure that's good for them, just to have the the bodies, the players in the room, and good players as well. We got a Willie Harvey, from the UFL. We have the guys that were here last year, brought in a couple of UDFAs as well. Jason Johnson, I believe. Not Jason Johnson. This is Jason. I believe it's Jason Johnson. We still have Buddy Johnson from last year as well, and just some other guys that they brought on. To really, of course, really just to kind of fill out the room. But hey, that still breeds competition, and it's still going to bring the best out of some of these guys that you may not have seen. If you were to have some starters, maybe some guys that you would have gotten free agency. You're going to be able to see some of these guys, these young guys step up and show what they can bring.
Just all the new staff members in general.
Just speak on the new staff, man. They're great people. They're also serious. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, with the profession we play, we got people that's serious. But to touch on Coach Zim, man, that man likes what he likes, man, and he likes it his way, man. So it's either you get it right, man, or next person up for real. So
right.
He's a great coach. So especially a couple weeks been around him, everybody's been around him, and he coaches to the way that where he wants everybody to get. And then And so when we go out there, he wants us to play fast. But like I said, man, he likes it his way. So you know what I'm saying? We get it right.
Right.
And I think that was also another key that Juanyeh brought up. Like he said, Zimmer is here to teach these guys, but also at the same time, like he's not trying to move too fast. He's trying to put a lot of these guys to see what they can handle. But like like Juanyeh just said, he's trying to customize it for each player how they're used to learning, like he said. And like I mentioned earlier, whether it's whether you got to put your arm around a guy, or whether you got to come down on him, or whether you got to pull him to the side, like Juanyeh just said, for example. He molds his teachings to the player. Also at the same time, once he thinks that you should have it, or once once the player, all these players have learned, and that's what this 5-6 week period is for. For these guys to go away, get the rest, of course, and things like that. But stay on these playbooks. Learn what they, even like I said, even though it's only been a couple weeks, but learn what they've been taught so far, and to see what you can do to just kind of build up off of that. You know what I'm saying? How can you expand what you've learned? How can you improve upon your ability, even though you're away from the facility? So I think that's going to be key. Right along with, sorry about that, y'all, but right along with these guys being able to, being taught here, these couple weeks of OTAs and mini camp, getting together with the veterans. But now the next step is going to be about, execution, and then also learning on the fly, because you don't stop learning, just in mini camp and OTAs and things like that. You continue to learn when they do come back for training camp. When you do get in the room with these guys, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be more learning going on. So now, but it's going to be at a faster pace. You know what I mean? So, and that's going to be the next step. That's going to be the next thing to look at. See what these guys can pick up. At a fast pace, and see what they can, see what they can put down on the field. And I just want to bring up one last example before I get out of here. And actually, I'm actually on here longer than I thought I would be, actually. But I'm gonna bring up Sam Williams, his home run derby interview, because he actually, and this is something that shout out to Botch Lombardi, something that he spoke on. I'm gonna put all these links in the description once the show's over, so you guys can find these interviews once again. But yes, Sam Williams, Botch Lombardi, shout out to him. He actually broke this clip down weeks ago, and he brought up a huge point, like. And this is something that we just talked about a defense just kind of catering to some of these players, that it may just be the coach or the system that they're learning under, as far as their learning curve and what they can absorb. So I just want to play something that Sam Williams said, and how he thinks it'll fit him. Let me see if I can bring this up right quick. Okay, yeah. So he's gonna talk about his impressions of Zimmer and why he is excited to play in the defense.
At this point, just working with him and how different he will be, and then Quinn and his approach with you guys.
I just like the fact that he's an old school coach, and he likes stuff done right. Well, I mean, other coaches are too, but I feel like he's gonna put the best players out there. Yeah, and I like defense. I really love that defense. I love the defense. We're gonna be a lot of fun this year. So,
what did you like about it? What are some of the things that really appeal to you on what you're doing a little bit differently this year?
I don't even know how to answer this question, but it's just basically the use of guys, different guys that didn't get to reach their full potential.
How do you kind of frame what this season's about for you? What's your approach to this year?
I just feel like this season will be the foundation of my career. Basically, so how it goes, Because I feel like I'm gonna get more opportunity to show what kind of player I am, and be able to extend my market, kind of, to get that money that take care of my family, So
yeah, then it talks about wanting to get a contract, down the line, but just kind of expounding on and just kind of opened my eyes. Like I said, shout out to Bob Lombardi when I saw his breakdown of this clip, because I didn't watch it the first time around. There were a lot of interviews that came out around that time. So I was watching Dak's interview. What I'm saying, Jake Ferguson. Just other interviews that came out that day. And like I said, honestly, I didn't watch Sam Williams' interview, but to hear him say, he kind of cracked it open, from the very beginning, saying like, hey, guys who didn't have a chance who really didn't have an opportunity, he just came out and said it, like, hey, like, we're going to be able to come out here and show what we can prove. And like he said, he loves it. He's like, guys who may not have had a chance. And like he said, they're gonna try all these guys, and that's why it's this year is not about. I'm not gonna say this year is not about the names, but because we have a lot of rooms, on our team, the cornerback room, the wide receiver room, maybe the running back room, even where the bottom of the roster doesn't look like doesn't look maybe particular appeasing as far as as far as namesake. But yeah, JB, he got that hot boy chain on. It got his number on there. You know what I'm saying? It's still rocking it. But yeah, so I just think that and not just guys like Sam Williams, like, and also something that kind of helps. We've had the Cowboys have lost those veterans that left. A Dante Fowler. You know what I mean? What's his name? Dorrance Armstrong. So that also, kind of opens the door a little bit for Sam Williams, of course, at that particular position. But, and really, I think his statement can, and not serve as a blanket statement, but just kind of serve as a point to maybe some of these other positions of guys who may not have had a chance. Guys who are further down on the depth chart. Maybe like a Izzy Mukwamu. Maybe like a I just forgot his name. Nation Wright, and it does depend on how these guys do in camp. I'm not saying those particular guys will have, a crazy bang out year in the third or fourth year, but just we could see a third year jump from Sam Williams, because we saw him, even though he was making those mistakes last year, we saw him make plays. You know what I mean? But just some of those mistakes just kind of made those great plays a wash at times. So I'm excited to see what he can bring, and really, like I said, some of these other players who may not have had a full opportunity. Even Damone Clark, he had an opportunity, but he was he was thrown into a leader position, or I should say and thrown into the mic position, having to direct the defense that he had no idea what was going on. So how can we, should we really have expected that from Damone? Because that was LVE's spot. You know what I'm saying? And he was still learning from LVE while during those first 5 games of the season last season. So he definitely should have played better. I'm definitely not excusing his play, but just someone who was young, and like he said, a year that he considered his rookie year, and he's a Mike linebacker. You know what I mean? So we can't we can't be upset with his play, but we just got to be, in my opinion, shout out to my girl Stargazer, just got to be a little bit more patient with these guys, because they are still young, they are still learning, and they just they may just need that opportunity just to be able to step up. And JV, yeah, that definitely could be possible. Malik Davis, he could definitely still have a chance. This season, it could be about maybe some of these guys, maybe it could have been about not having a sponsor in the room, like Malik Davis, Izzy Mukwamu, who has shown out in games. We saw Izzy, show out in the playoff game. Malik, we didn't use him too much, unfortunately, in that playoff game, which I think he could have went off. But in previous games in that season, he did get his hands on the ball and still made some plays for us. So I'm not, quite giving up on him yet either. You know what I'm saying? So, and really, I'm not giving up on any young player on this team, and anybody that they brought in, because, this is just really going to be a full, a year where they definitely have opportunity. And speaking of my girl Star, I just want to bring up one last example to kind of bring this point home. She actually shared a tweet the other day of Damone Clark going down to Hawaii, putting in some off season work. Let me see. Let me bring this up for you guys before I explain too much. Bring this up. And like she said, he's obviously not trying to lose his spot, and I wholeheartedly agree, because like I don't remember the last couple seasons. Like, granted, he had the neck injury in last season. I don't know if he was thinking about going off doing work, outside the facility last season. But seeing him, as you guys can see here, let me move this. 1 second, y'all. Okay, here we go. My bad, y'all. But yeah, so like it says here, Cowboys linebacker Damone Clark working out with Derek Stingley Sr. at his Cover One training elite linebacker and DB camp in Hawaii. And like I said, I don't remember last year Damone Clark, going outside the facility to get work. And that could be because he was, still learning, or because he was still coming up, or maybe he wasn't familiar. But like like I said, like I mentioned earlier, like we I've talked about, like me and Star talked about, like other content creators have talked about. This is going to be, this is going to breed competition this year, and training camp, and possibly even going forward, from week 1 on. I mean, we have Mayers coming up, still learning, so he may not be the starter, but he could certainly fast track during camp. We could definitely see that. So, Damone Clark knows that, and like I said, just knowing that he has a chance of his spot. I don't want to say his spot's getting taken, because I think he would have more of a chance than Maris. But just hearing how much praise that Maris is beginning because of his intelligence, because of how we see how fast that he already moves, but just hearing so much about his intelligence, not just from Zimmer, from other coaches. You know what I'm saying? Even Damone Clark was giving him his props that he's going to be one of them ones. So, and next thing you know, he's in Hawaii, working out at a linebacker camp. So it's, I mean, and that's great, because that'll really elevate the team. That'll elevate his play. He's said himself that he has in his confidence has gone up, and just knowing that he wants to play fast and free, like we referenced earlier in the video. So it's about. Is, like I said, I think this year will be more so on the mental side, like with Zimmer coming in, trying to teach these fundamental techniques, trying to teach these, really just some of the maybe just some of the foundational things that maybe some of these players weren't aware of last season. You know what I'm saying? So that way they can't, you can play fast, but if you don't know what to do, you know what I'm saying, you're just playing fast and guessing. But if you're out there knowing what you're supposed to do, you know what I'm saying, on your toes and playing fast, you just have a different movement about you. You know what I mean? So, like I said, shout out to my girl Star. Thank you for tweeting this, because, I mean, of course, I wasn't aware until I seen it come across your page. But yeah, I think this kind of, knocks the point out of the park that, these guys are gonna have opportunity. And like Juanyeh said, if you can't get it done, Zimmer has no problem bringing up that next guy who's waiting for that opportunity. And a lot of these guys, as we know, have been waiting for an opportunity to shine, opportunity to be able to step forward and show what they have. So I think this is going to be great. I just think this is great for the competition aspect of it. And just and also it'll be great for these guys' confidence, right? So whether or not they, because like we have a lot of guys, so whether they come out on this squad, whether they are able to put something on tape and make it to another team. We lost some guys last year before the season, like an Isaiah Land. Saying we lost a couple linebackers, Devin Harper, saying to other squads. So whether or not these guys are end up being a Cowboy, or whether they end up being on another squad, these guys are able to take what they've learned in this little bit of time from a new coach, what I'm saying, who may not, maybe at first they maybe not have been open to learning from a Zimmer, right? Because they were under Dan Quinn for so long, or maybe they were used to having that starting spot, or like I said, maybe these young guys were, got tired of sitting back and not having a chance. But, like I said, I think this would be a good confidence booster, and just a good morale booster for the locker room. And I don't think it'll be like a divisive type thing, right? I mean, we heard about the competition in the offensive line room. Cooper Beebe, Brock Hoffman, TJ Bass. Like I'm sure Hoffman and Bass are close. I'm sure they're getting closer with Beebe. And these guys are cool on the field, but we all know when you hit the field, that's when the competition really starts. So. And I'm sure it'll be friendly competition, but it'll just be interesting to see, what these guys find within themselves and bring out on the field. Because that's where I think, just in my opinion, that's where the magic happens. Because if we're able to get these guys confident in themselves, and then that only helps the team. I'm saying that only helps the team, because you get the best players, you get their best play, and the coaches, players have to question whether or not you're allowing someone. I'm not gonna say who didn't deserve the spot, but maybe someone, because it's just possible for someone who didn't have the opportunity to get overlooked because you have a starter who you want to see out there. You know what I'm saying? You have a guy who you want to see out there. You know what I mean? So that's just really the point, I want to bring up. That's pretty much my whole show for today. I seen that interview and it just dropped a couple of days ago, and I just happened to come across it googling Eric Kendricks because I was doing like I said, I have a show coming up later this week about just touching on linebackers and things like that. But just googling his name, and I happened to see this interview, and like I said, I think he dropped the nugget in this interview, just pretty much coming out and saying why he thinks this defense fits the Cowboys to a T, and I agree with them. Of course, I can't fully say I fully agree because I haven't seen the players yet, haven't seen them play on the field, and seeing the different guys out there yet, but it just makes me more excited for training. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to see these guys go out there, and the young guys, like I said, the young guys that we haven't seen, the crowded wide receiver room, the crowded cornerback room. And I just want to be able to, see these guys get on the field and know that, number one, I'm seeing the best out of each player. So that way that I know that, and not just me, the Cowboys, of course, but just me as a content creator, just me as a fan, watching, the guys get on the field. We have lost a lot of starters who I personally like. I love, seeing Dante Fowler out there. You may not have gotten a lot of snaps, but just from my opinion, when he was on the field and he made a play, it was a play. You know what I mean? Dorrance Armstrong, first half of the year last season, those 7-8 sacks really helped us a lot. You know what I'm saying? So these guys that we lost, I like seeing them. So I really want the next class of guys that come up, or the next line of guys that step up, to really be be about number one, what Zimmer is looking for, but just be about what can improve this team. So I want to thank everybody for coming through. I didn't expect it to be close to an hour show, y'all. To be honest with you, I only expected to be on here for about 5-10 minutes because I just had a few clips. But like I said, I'm just excited for camp coming up. You'll be able to go out there and see our guys. Really just show, like I said, show forth what they can bring, and hopefully we'll see a different Cowboy squad. That's really what I'm looking forward to. Like I'm not looking for a championship team or a championship run, but I will say that I want to see progress from my team this year, and I want to see individual progress as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see, I want to see the vets, increase their game and, improve their game, excuse me. And I want to see increased, snaps for guys, like Sam Williams said, who may not have gotten the opportunity, but, progress as well. You know what I'm saying? Guys can talk, but I'm saying, we got to see it on the field. You know what I mean? So yeah, so thank everybody for coming through. I'm sorry if I missed the chat, y'all. I've been kind of on the other side of looking. Let me see what else was said. Yeah, JV said, I like seeing Damone Clark doing this. Now I want to see, just like I was talking about, when you want to see results, like you want to see these guys actually talk, walk the talk that they talk. You know what I mean? And yeah, me too, JV. Like I don't know where Isaiah Land is now, and I'm not I think he's last on the practice squad for the Colts, and I would still love to have him back. I know we have a crowded, defensive edge room. I know we just drafted a guy, so I doubt we'll be going after anybody. But I mean, we trying out guys from UFL. You know what I mean? So you never know what can really happen. But so we'll definitely see how the defensive ends, the linebackers, the whole defense. You know what I'm saying? Our whole Cowboys squad. Cowboysnation, how they come out. For training camp 2024. So thank you guys for joining me for my show. I really gotta hop off here because my computer about to die. You know what I'm saying? So just to be honest with you guys, so thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. We will let you know. Me and Star go live this evening. I definitely plan on it, but I haven't hit her up just yet. So I'm gonna hit her up. See where things are sitting at, and then hopefully we see you guys. Oh, he's still with the Colts? Okay, he'll most likely stay with them. If he's still with the original squad from last year, then they definitely probably seen something in him. And I don't blame him because he was, a really great player. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, hit the like, hit the share, hit my Cash App. Things like this take time, and I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys joining me. Head out the training camp. Make sure you guys donate to to my Oxnard fund. I'm saying my training camp fund. Like I said, I want to get some great clips for you guys. I want to be able to get you guys, just some good footage, just like this here. Like you guys see the safeties here. You guys see, the linebackers in the background. The offensive line as well. You see Dan Quinn back there, even though he's not here no more. But yeah. So thank you guys for joining me. Really, really appreciate you guys. Cowboys Nation, I love you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me. Got a few more subscribers. Thank you guys. I'm almost at 300. I'm trying to get there before training camp. So hit the like, hit the share, hit the retweet, hit the subscribe, all that. Hit the Cash App if you guys can. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.